I still living? Am I still live? Jeez, my freaking thing. That's the second time it's done that. Like the... Hey, Tina, I didn't think you were gonna be here. Hi, happy birthday! Birthday girl's here. I think it's gonna do it again. My phone holder on like my ring light keeps like springing out my phone, and it scares the shit out of me. It just goes boing right in my face every time. Not what I'm expecting. Now I'm like all paranoid about it. Ow, what is going on in my... You guys feeling the energy right now? Holy cow, the energies are very interesting. Oh man. Hey everyone, hi Anastar. Hi Patty. I sparkle. Hey, cool, I'll take it. Man, something's going on with these energies. Hey, how's the music? Hey Ryan, what's up, brother? Is the music too loud, too quiet? I mean, I don't know. I just wanted something a little bit in the background. Hey, what's up, Art? Your mind, EXE? How's it going, brother? It's Mike, right? I think it's Mike. My memory is not my best tool, so it is my best tool. Gosh, you gotta stop that spell speaking shit. Oh, sounds good, cool. There's some like Easter eggs in the playlist. I'm not sure if we'll hear them or be able to recognize them or not, but these are all just instrumentals. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, so this is Red Method Man and Red Man. Is that right? Do I remember that right? From the How High soundtrack. I don't remember. Hi Amber. Nice to see you. What's going on with my arm all of a sudden? 1 second. We're just gonna clear whatever's going on here. There we go. Oh, thank you for the heart. How's everybody feeling? Check this out. Tina, check this out. And everybody, it's Tina's birthday, Cosmic Earth Child's birthday today. So we'll have to do something fun. Everybody, we'll have to do something fun for her. As a group, if she's going to hang out. Are you going to hang out with us, Tina? I don't want to keep you up late on your birthday night, but I think we can do something fun. Hi, Serene. How's it going? But check this out. Well, cool. Thank you. Let's see. I found that I can change my effects in the middle of it. So check it out. I feel like you're going to like that. So when we're doing it, it's up there. Boom. Like, I mean, clearly I'm going to be doing stuff, but people can pick it up, pick it out, look at it. But I'm going to make a bunch of different backgrounds and stuff. So, I didn't realize we could do that. So it's pretty cool. There's stickers too. So like, I could go live performance. If that's what am I doing live performances? Is that what it is? Or I can, oh, thank you for the see, those butterflies look so much like Blue Devi Angelics. I love that butterfly gift. It's so cool. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Oh, and there's polls too. I didn't even notice that. I'm a noob, man. I do this every Friday and I still don't know what I'm doing. I swear it looks like I have lipstick on today. I don't. I actually don't. It's not a filter. Thought I left a filter on. I was like, oh crap. So there's that. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can do this. So I've got a question here from Katerina, and I'm going to see if I can pin it. So Katerina, if you'd like to ask a question, what I'm going to ask you to do is there should be a little like Q&A button, I think, on your screen. It might be a little different, but there's some way for you to be able to ask a question, and that way I can go through the questions and I can pin them for people, so they know what I'm answering when they come into the chat or whatever. I'm gonna have to turn it down just a little bit because I don't know why. It's like when you get old. Thank you for the crown, beautiful. But like when you're driving and you have to turn down the radio to like get to find where you're going. Like it's kind of like that thing. I'm like trying to talk, but get mixed up in my head. I thought without the lyrics, I thought it'd be okay, but just a little bit less loud. That's all right. Yeah. So how's everybody feeling today? Okay, so now the Q&A is working. Beautiful. So the first question, well, I'll answer just a few questions and then we'll just jump right into some energy work right off the bat for all who are interested. Because there's some interesting energies coming in right now. First question is, what was my awakening like? Now, I don't know. So like with me, it's kind of a long story that I still haven't told like fully on TikTok yet, which I keep meaning to. I just haven't had time. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. But it's going to be like a whole parter thing, like, because it doesn't really make, like, there's little stories, you know, there's all so many little stories, but it like fits into the big picture, and that's what's really important, not the like individual little experiences. But my awakening was pretty much triggered through pain, through a health issue thing. And really sent me down a spiral of trying to find ways to heal myself. I felt like I've always kind of been awake in a lot of ways. It depends on how you define awake, I guess. But not until I started to have to figure out ways to heal myself, like truly heal myself, or pretty much die. That's when things changed. When I started to actually have experiences rather than just research in energy work and metaphysics from a logical perspective. Once I started having interactions with energy and started having these experiences, that's when everything changed for me. But that is, I feel like it's always a process. It's a continuing process for me because I'm always waking up more and more and more. I think that's kind of the idea, right? Is that we're always waking up, but yeah, I don't know if that answers your questions. It's going to be a really long answer, to be honest. But a really short answer is it's been intense. It's been a roller coaster, up and downs, left and right, all the way in. My psychic, everybody's psychic, yes. But not in the way that you're asking. I mean, I am in that way, but that's not really my forte. I'm sorry, Erica. I'm not, I can do those things, but it's not natural for me. And it's always going to be through my own filters. It's just the way that I channel things. So I would, there's people who, that's what they do. That's their thing. And I would highly recommend finding one of those people to assist you with that, because it can be super healing to be able to connect directly, because you can. But really what my specialty is, what I'm here to do is to help people get that ability for themselves, to empower people with their own understandings and rememberings so that they can communicate with the other side just as easy as any medium. That's the idea here. So that's what we mean by these activations and energy healing. Once we start healing ourselves, we remove all the stuff that we're not. It becomes really easy for these things to start to come on. We start to awaken more to who we truly are, and we start to have gifts come online, and really these are just fundamental aspects of who we are as human beings. We've just been not broken, but just jammed full of stuff that's not us. So healing is removing all the crap that we're not, so we can become who we are. Have I done Kundalini? Yes, I've done Kundalini exercises and breathing and those type of things. My Kundalini, when it was activated, was from top down. I haven't done it much lately. I'm still working on some blockage stuff, or not even if you want to call it blockage stuff. I'm just working through things, but I don't experience it quite like other people do. There's people that are amazing that work with Kundalini energy, and some on this app. The song from the event. I don't know. That's channeled. I don't even remember how it went. Like, I really don't remember how it went, but we can see if we can channel some singing. That would be cool. Yeah, we should do Kanakata. What happened there? Do you do any qigong with healing? I love qigong. I used to do qigong every morning. It was part of my morning routine. I'm considering getting back into it again just because it feels so good. Especially since I'm managing my own symptoms and working with my own stuff, my own healing. It's a really powerful tool. I do that in the morning with breath work. I combine breath work. We do meditation, breath work, qigong. What else did we do? All sorts of stuff. Man, it's been a while since I was on top of it. But yeah, I love qigong, and it's a very powerful tool for working with energy, especially when you mix it with breath work. We know this one. Well, I'm not sure I understand. Feeling good equals not putting work into healing. I'm not sure I understand fully. So you feel good when you don't put work into healing? Is that what you're asking? Because there was a point with me where that had to happen. So I not too long ago, almost about a year ago, is when I made a big shift, because before that all I was doing was healing work. All I did was all day, every day was like healing work. Even when I was at work, I was working on myself. I was, like I just mentioned, I was doing those regimens a ton in the morning. Like it was always, I was meditating at least 3 or 4 hours a day, like total altogether. So I was spending all my time trying to break through. I was trying to get to that next level because I was like not happy with where I was at. And I found that I was really using energy work and healing modalities as almost like a drug. Like I was using it to manage things instead of like, sometimes the next step is to let go and to let go of what you're doing and just be human for a bit. And that's what it was for me. And when I did that, I was able to let my inner child play. And that was a really big breakthrough, I guess, for me, was letting that inner child play and letting myself be human. And then everything else naturally started to come in after that. I mean, clearly I'm still working on so much, like I feel in a lot of ways, I don't feel like I've truly broken through, but we're still like continuously breaking through these little barriers and a little bit better each time. I'm just gonna read the chats now just for a bit and hang out for a second. Then we'll do some energy work, activations. I want to be part of the conversations. I feel like I'm not part of the conversation if I'm just reading the questions. Hello, everyone. How many light languages are there? I don't know. Probably countless. Like literally countless. I've expressed a different light language like nonstop for hours and hours, like ones that I've never heard before, and just like, because they evolve, they're just different expressions of frequency. So even a lot of the ones that I express, a lot of the light languages I use, they're even mashups. It's not like they're like perfectly segregated, because they're just expressing energy, and it's not about the words or the sounds per se. It's about what we carry. Like the sounds are just what we carry the energies on, the frequencies on, and that's what makes a difference between, just like gibberish, if you want to refer to it as gibberish. I truly don't think anything is without energy behind it, but it's the difference between different languages and light language. Light is information, light is data. That's what it is. So it's essentially like saying it's the language of data, just straight data, and that's what makes it so powerful. So it's what you're using behind it, what your intentions are. That's what makes light language. So there's really countless versions. I love that butterfly one. It's so the blue of Debbie's. I love it. Oh, thank you, Jimmy. I don't know, Jimmy. Is it Jen or is it Jimmy? Jen. It would be Jen, wouldn't it? Gosh. Thank you. Thank you, Amber. Do I consider myself as a light language activator? I do it. I definitely light language activate. Oh, thank you for the lights. But I wouldn't consider myself that's what I do. Like, for example, our friend, our dear sister, Deb Clark, I would consider her, that's what she does. That's like her specialty, is activating people's light languages. And she's really good at it. Like, that's what she's here to do. So, and that's Mystic Hearts. I think it's Mystic Heart Space. Tina, you'll have to help me out by like tagging her in the comments, but she's amazing. I highly recommend going to her if you want to get specific light language activations. My specialty is essentially upgrading people and getting people in alignment to access their higher self as quickly as possible. So usually that involves a lot of healing, but it's different for everybody, and I use codes to essentially help people get there. So light language activation is part of that, but it's really up to your higher self what comes through. But I mean, we can always set intentions and get those intentions to come through if we choose to, but that's like not my focus. My focus isn't like specific things. It's more the whole idea of getting you in alignment to who you need to be, helping you be you. That's the whole deal, is helping you remember who you are. That's it. Do people get headaches watching or learning, and if so, why? That's very possible. So a lot of times people will start to get headaches even being in the same, like in this, and just being here, because of what all the energies that are already here and that are just being constantly emitted. Part of my energy, and everybody's a little bit different, but part of my energy signature, part of what I am, is just a natural, just being in my energy changes other people's energy. It just brings people's frequency up and can be activating in of itself. So it may be unblocking things in your head, it may be creating shifts to occur. Your frequency may be rising, and that can be uncomfortable, because if there's resistance in the body and in the energy field, we will feel that as pressure, we will feel that as tension, if that makes sense. It doesn't mean that like it's not like a gift or it's better. It's just the way the energy works, and that's the way a lot of people function. That's why you want to surround yourself with people who are of you want to consider it a high vibe, because just being in their presence and being around them will literally lift you up and you will match their frequency. It doesn't go the opposite. It doesn't go the other way around. It can be. I mean, I know people with high frequency, they spend enough time in lower vibrational states and around those environments, they will often lower their frequency or just keep them down. It usually just makes it harder for them to rise up. They don't usually go back down. That's just harder to go up further. So you change your environment, you change. There's a good metaphor that I had in my mind the other day, but I can't remember it now, of course, when I need it. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Do I identify with angelic language or galactic language? All of them. Hi Chastity. Hello everyone. I kind of identify with all of it. That's kind of my thing. Like if I was a chef, I would have like an all-you-could-eat, I'd be like an all-you-could-eat buffet in like Vegas or something where it has everything that you can eat. That's the kind of chef I would be, like all different flavors. Some people specialize in certain flavors. They get really good at whatever that is that they're cooking. I kind of cook it all, I guess, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Thank you. Hey everyone. So I say let's do some energy work. 20 minutes is enough of me talking without doing some energy work and experiencing it. Because the most powerful thing we can do when it comes to these type of things is experience it. Bypass the logical mind. And that's what this work does. This is what energy work does. This is what light language does, is it bypasses the logical mind and goes straight into the energy, right into the fields. So the key to receiving this type of work, if you're new to this, if this is something new, is just to feel your body as deeply as possible. So I'm going to try doing this real quick. Boom. See if that helps. Even if you can't see it, that's totally cool. But all you need to do to receive is just relax your body. So relax your body and feel your body. Become present in your body. You can set a specific intention if you want. So if you like healing to go into a certain area of your body, just relax as deeply as possible. Put your awareness in that area and it can be addressed. If it's something that you want to get activated, say if you're interested in a light language activation and activating your own light languages, I would suggest bringing that up in your awareness into your intention and then just placing your awareness in your heart space, just in the center of your chest, in your heart, or even just try to listen to your heartbeat and relax. That's all you need to do, and the rest will be done for you. So I'm just going to walk through the process of what I do before I do these type of transmissions. This is what I do before I go through and do make any of the videos that you might see on my YouTube or my TikTok. It might be helpful for some people, and I've developed this protocol just because it makes me feel comfortable, because there's certain aspects of this type of work that can kind of be gray areas for things to take place, and through my own trials and errors I've figured out ways that make me more comfortable and more confident and feel safer in the way that I work with other people. So these are just some of the things that I do. They're not necessary, these are not necessary for everybody, but in my perspective I think they are, if that makes sense, because it's based on what I've experienced so far. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to open up a portal to the Grand Central Sun, and we're going to pull through just source light, source code, just pure divine consciousness, pure consciousness, down through into our sun portal, and then down through my chakra system. So you can do the same thing with your intention. I'm going to go through my crown, through every chakra in my body, every fiber of my being, every cell, out my root, down and out my legs, out my feet, and into the center of the earth, down into the crystal core of Mother Earth. And then this way, Mother Earth gets the codes, the collective gets the codes, everybody gets healing. And as we heal individually, we all heal together. And then we are going to bring this now grounding frequency back up from the heart of Mother Earth, back up through the rocks and the minerals, up through our feet, through our legs, through my root, through all my chakras, out through my crown, and back up to source. And just asking this to stay established. This helps hold space. This brings in clean energy as things are removed and moved around. And then I just open my heart, make sure my heart is open. You can do this through intention, through feeling it, through seeing it bloom like a flower, through just seeing light just blast out from your heart. Just placing your awareness in your heart can be enough. So we open our heart, and then I set intentions. No harm will be done during this. No energy will be taken that's not freely given out of love, and it will be in the alignment for the highest good of all only. We're going to channel whatever comes through for the highest good for everybody and their intentions. So that could be healing, it could be upgrades, it could be activations, whatever is in alignment for the highest good in this now. Nothing else will come through. If it's not right for you, it won't come through. Lorna naratarishiato eramasyachatetu urshtabunkim burtu praflaheratisyatan Shetaradangi proflakyatyataratu ush lebra ulimana isyatrat uyabraku Lak rashtana uitu rapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapapappappappapppppppppppLes shadine mueto, les jastantu, kimakiot arstepakinas, shule manaya huki kikwata, sete ila nimo ale, nula hana nemia alo kita pasia natu, shats saflekianastu, nustapa aletus nana, tita usia. Kulaka aimakatu sa rataki paroku sa prakadina sakete ushteraku maru what of wars ni suror ni suke mataran ni suwe matara tu sikina tawe tu manahi tu frare tarena ya sai tu li poyata ni kotami kwesunu maya naya na eweku Nana yeti ya meku etasina toke na ikuni mataya iwelo esino maketa mi mahati keni ne yasawetu ele memi kunyati wasi poke lo que se sa tuke na si tuke mani asete ki mokeleti asina pia kuele na uflaya ya nuflaya ra Nuflayarani maya ya ukoya ya numela ya nusto masule karata nishatur. The background changed. I could feel the energy shift. Hufra harstad jag harsi bakino kuya broko ora broko harsi skutkute broko broko ya broko 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 per segera kutu broko broko ya broko broko takata shuku era dan bio era broko ya broko broko sa ta shuku ya broko man broko 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 taba arta menu shupa waya papa yimbe be Shupro era mada be euro manu ni when Shuram mi watori mani when and you were and was trying to wait at the way of Kuya, I mean, whether the shit away at Ungel, but will La Radani Nani Nue Kuli Manana Suju Lara Titi Marato Brazil Nuero Taka Chikra Takira Taka Rata Miruata Misturanda Sto Horstia Pakitarashi Hartatingish La Restoram Ratuila Heratara Datara Rotu Stom Boyquich Baktarish Shatrata Chisho Tatara Fratingish to La Hartas this thing black Uchtiro Shatangira topic wherever the shooter than the terror step a hacker and you stood off the Ikusia for and both are Sharon the Yakunama. Sharala handle pelo morele canon and wherever the good record to the Rabu Ramani Jara Perito. Na halini yani ni wewe le to le ni na ha lo to mima le tarare atia suye we le ni we kuku e kena ni sata tata tia provata ta sata tata kina uluata shekaratisa shakarasi tasama kuku kistara wara chaprato frata Чекатаура, Сенату. Ще протуп'яура, п'яма, па-па-па-па-па-па. 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 Щупра-па-па-па-па-па. Щуп-пуп-пуп-пуп. Типа-типа-типа. Okay. Boom. There we go. Round one. What happened to my background? That's funny. One sec. Let's see if we can get that back up there. Yeah, how's everybody feeling? What was your experience? Share your experience with others. It can be really helpful. Hi, Heather. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Again, I can't think and listen to things at the same time. What's up with my brain? I don't know why. I'm the only one talking. I don't know why I got it. Oh, thank you for the lights. Yeah, that was an intense one. That was good. They had to bring in some feminine energy because it was so masculine there for a second. It was like too much. It's like, calm down, guys. You don't got to be so... Why gotta be so powerful, you know? Like, it's like, you can be powerful without having to be powerful. Like, whatever that more soft energy came in. It's like, chill out. It's okay. Let go. It's okay. You don't gotta be so direct. Kurara. Nisarani. I feel your energy. I feel all your energy. That's the intense thing about doing this work is I feel everybody, especially when it comes into this container. Like together when we come here, even when certain people come in, like I feel everybody. So it changes too. It's very like a dynamic energy. Because as people are, I mean, clearly it's TikTok. People are in here probably an average of like 15 seconds. I don't know. They probably look at me like for 2 seconds and go, "Who the hell's this goober?" Swipe, swipe, swipe. Yes, hydrate. Everybody hydrate. Thank you for reminding me. Hi, Shelby. Korana siata archinik yatorana. Oh, you're calling all the fae and the bird beings in today because it's a party. Yeah, I'm sure they're here for your party. That's a big part of it. Korana rashiata. Do I do sessions? I do sessions. Yes. I love doing sessions. If you're interested in anything that I do, like in that way, you can go to my profile. And in my profile, there is a link. And in that link, still coming down. Hold on a sec. See, this is where I can get myself into trouble. After a transmission, I just want to jump right back in. I feel like if I don't rush things, I don't give enough, which I need to work on a little bit. I don't need to work on. I just need to handle it. And it's really easy when you do this type of work to get really jacked up really fast. Like even I'm starting to get even red. Just that water energy. Just yeah, there's no rush, no rush. But it's not even, it's the energy. So it's not even like a mental thing. It's just like, and I'm so high frequency as it is, you know, like I like to move fast. I mean, that's why things like this just natural. Like it's not even a choice thing. It's like, I can't keep it from being fast. Sometimes it's like the way that I eat, man, if I eat, like I eat so fast. I have my whole life. I just like scarf it down. And if I try to eat slow, it's like, it's so tough to try to eat slow. But okay, sorry, to answer your question, if you are interested in what I offer, you can go to my profile. There is a link tree link in there. You can send me a direct message if you want, if you just want to ask questions or if you just want to share something, give feedback, because it's really helpful to hearing your guys' feedback and your experiences and sharing them here because they do help other people. And if you are interested in sharing a testimonial, you can do that through there too. And that helps other people way more than we realize. It's so helpful because a lot of times we're having these experiences and the ego mind gets in the way and we're like, did that happen? But you may have had a really profound experience. And then when you notice that other people had a similar experience that you thought maybe was random in your mind, it can really lock that in and validate that for them. And that can really help you lock in that puzzle piece so you can go to that next level. But you can also book directly through that link as well if you're interested in that. And I also offer other services too, like I do like custom glyphs, like these type of things. These are quantum entangled to different things. So you can set whatever intention you want and you can use these glyphs. These are codes. What? Why is, as I'm trying to use it, like, hey, look at this now. And then blink, what? Like, oh gosh. But anyway, I don't know why that cracks me up so much. It's not that funny, Ty. But these symbols, these type of things, they can get really complicated too. These are just like glyphs, what people would refer to as like, I also do like custom, like personalized transmissions as well. So like if you're into the stuff that I do on my profile, you can get a custom one made. You choose whatever song or music that vibes with you, and then we'll channel whatever intention that you want to that energy. It can be really helpful. Did I glitch out? I was getting a phone call. So that could have been it. I don't know what I should do for that. Yeah, it glitched. Okay, when did it glitch? I mean, it was when I got a phone call. So it was probably that. I know that's what it was. So the glyphs. So these glyphs are quantum entangled. So they're essentially sigils. People call them different things, but there are light codes. They're just really simplified versions of light codes, and they're quantum entangled to different functionalities. So some light codes hold a lot more information in their geometry and what is shown. So you'll see a lot of times like more complicated light codes where it's like big geometries with all these different colors and just lots of geometries and stuff. These are the same idea, but they're quantum entangled. So it's like a simplified version that is entangled to that more complicated functionality. Thank you, Kurata. I love that one. So you can get that customized too. So you can get whatever you want customized and entangled to that. So if you want a certain intention, you can set an intention. We will quantum entangle a way, I mean, whatever it is, that it can be anything, to that symbol. So if you want a certain functionality, you can use that symbol. You can just bring that up in your awareness, or you can draw it on yourself, or you can put it on a piece of paper and plug it on. There's endless possibilities. It's just a tool. But there's also more complicated versions, that we can do. We also do, I don't know if you guys glitched out when I said that we also offer personalized transmissions too. Did I probably already mentioned that? But just like my videos, just go to link in my bio. I'm not big on like the pitch, but if you have questions, or you just want to BS or whatever, you can send me a message to that way too, and we can roll that way. Sound good? Yeah, but essentially what I do is I focus on getting you to your highest self as quickly as possible. So in the sessions, we can work on whatever you want, whatever intentions that you want. If it's for healing, I love to work on healing things. But the idea is there's just so much packed into our sessions that it's essentially just an overall like frequency upgrade. And we can do healing. I mean, healing is part of the process. But I'm like all output essentially at this time. And what I mean by that is that we go straight like a laser beam to whatever your intentions are, and we skip all the other stuff. We skip the BS. We don't need the stories. We don't need to know what costumes the energies are wearing in the session, that made the issues come up. We just bust through it so fast to get you where you need to be, and then you can understand it all later. You can get the stories if you want to or whatever, but that's just not our thing. So we're not a reader is what I mean by that. Even though we can tune into energy, we can tune into things and, get feedback and whatever we need to in order to get the job done. But that's our focus. That's what we want to spend our time doing. And by our, I mean me. We want to focus on getting you where you need to be so you can do these things yourself. So you don't need to keep coming to me for a session to get information or to work on certain things. You can remember how to use your own gifts and use it on yourself, if that makes sense. I'm just gonna calm for a second. Never truly got down from that last little bit, the energy work. Trying to be better about it this time rather than letting it just build and like I get so amped up. I'm like a little boy. I'm legit like a little boy. How old was I when all this started for me? It kind of depends on what you mean by when it started, but like all the weird light language stuff, all this stuff was only started to come out in probably like 2018. I didn't start truly using it. Like I was doing energy work and stuff on people and learning all the different modalities and things like that and studying a lot, but I wasn't using the light language for anything. It was just more like I was more experiencing it. And then probably 2020 is when I started to use it in my work. And then once I started doing that, I just remembered it all, and then it was just like it was just on. Like I was like, oh, okay, this is what I should have been doing the whole time. But it was something, I had such a resistance to it for the longest time because I was like, I don't know, that's not for me. I don't like that. Like when I heard it, and now I know why, and it's no shade to the people that were expressing it, but there was just so much like ego in it at the time, and it was like the way that they expressed it was just, it did not feel good. It did not sound good. It was just obnoxious, and it just really rubbed me wrong. So I was like, nope, that's not for me. Nope, not doing that. And then of course, Spirit's like, nah, dude, it's coming out. It's going to come out. Forced its way out one day. Just could not stop speaking light language for hours. But there's all sorts of different languages, not just Palladian. I mean, I'm sure I express Palladian dialects sometimes, but mine are usually mix-ups, like mashups and stuff, and or lots of times are ones that most people don't know about. Like, we don't really even have I don't know if we have human words for some of these races and multidimensional beings and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm pretty much age 7. I'm just that big kid. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Tina's right. I use a lot of Arcturian, especially in the type of work that I do in groups. We use a lot of Arcturian, big time. And Mantis, some of the Mantises are tough. I can feel it wanting to come through a lot though too. Did I learn it or just come through one day? It comes through. So it's just like remembering, and it's a continuous process. So as I go through and heal myself, I do more healing on myself. Sometimes I integrate a ton more aspects of myself. So I will bring in these different aspects, heal myself from other realities and spaces, bring those versions of them into me again, and they just start coming out. So I'll start speaking different expressions that I haven't heard before. And honestly, there's so many that I don't express just because I'm not really sure. Like, you start to get into like patterns, and that's something that I try to get myself out of every once in a while, is trying to move away from using the same ones often, because you can get in these kind of like comfortable states where you use certain ones, or you just use your soul language a lot, and which is great. It can be really powerful, and you get really good with it. But what I'm really trying to try to be dynamic and use as many as I can, and try to play with it, and not get stuck. Do I know Cat in Boots? Yeah, she's awesome. Yeah, she does really great work. She's another coder, a programmer, similar to what I do, just a completely different way of doing it. Uses a completely different way of doing it, but commanding is the same idea. It's all the same stuff. It's just different ways about going about it. Can there be cycles of those versions coming in and out? Absolutely. Yep. Pulling good cards, eh? Call me Marie Claire. Nice. I wouldn't doubt it. How can I learn the difference of the languages to tell them apart? That's a great question. You can start to recognize for yourself by listening to other people, or certain patterns of energies, what you're expressing at certain times certain dialects will come through. Like when I need certain things, like in sessions, if there's certain energies that need to come through, a different dialect will be better for that. So like a lot of times there's more, like there's ones that are like good for joy, like bringing back up the energy if it's been too serious, because it can, like the ones that are really strong, like the really strong masculine ones, really really can push their way out and be like the dominant one quite a bit with me, and I have to pull that back, because that's not what we always need. We should balance it out. It's really powerful. It works really great. It's really powerful. But we don't need all that, like, that power. We it doesn't have to be that way. We can use so many different expressions to get us there. But yeah, and the thing is, yeah, feeling into it, asking yourself questions, observing other people's light languages, and picking up patterns that way. There are really great. There's people who that's what they specialize in, and I mentioned Deb Clark before. She really is the one to go to when it comes to those things, in my opinion. Also, Tina, Cosmic Earthchild, here in the chat. She's a moderator here. Shout out to her for it's her birthday. It's her birthday. She's another amazing person to consult with regarding these light languages and dialects and stuff. How do you know if you're a healer? Your ego keeps getting in the way. I think that everybody's a healer. It's just a difference between like a title in a lot of ways. Like, what's your job? Like are you a burger flipper? Like, do you like, I'm a burger flipper if you work at McDonald's or something? Like, no, you're a human being. You can do, that's not your identity. It just happens to be something that you do, And it's the same thing. Like, you can be a healer if that's what you do, if that identifies you as that. I don't even consider myself a healer. And I know this is semantics and stuff like that, but it's a really important point that I think I want to make, is that, we are so much more than we can label. And sometimes those labels kind of hold us back, or these expectations, these attachments to who we think we're supposed to be and what our roles are supposed to be. Part of what I do, where like my role here, is to help break down rules and roles, to help people remember that they're more than they actually think that they are, and they always will be. But yeah, I think everybody has the ability to be a healer. That's what I want to do, is to teach. So if you have the passion for it, and that's what it excites you, and that's what makes you feel amazing, and like that's what you know that you want to do, because that's, as soon as I experienced energy work, I knew that that's what I was meant to do. As soon as I actually felt it, it snapped in, and I felt amazing. Like that's it. I didn't know how to get there, but I was like, that's it. I knew that's what I needed to do. So if that's what it sparked in you, go for it. And it can change. Like we are always evolving. We're always trying different things. So let yourself play. Like let yourself like don't I would try to not get rigid into what you think you should be doing or shouldn't be doing. Like should and shouldn't are like, those are naughty words. They imply shame, they imply guilt, they imply like a need for something, and we don't need those things. Those can hold us back. So, but yes, you can be a healer. I think everybody's a healer. Some people are better singers naturally. That's just kind of a thing, Some people are really good at singing naturally, and other people, they can learn to sing. And they learn to sing in their own ways. People sing in different ways, Everybody's got their own flavor, their own frequency. Yeah, I'll do some energy work here in a sec. Actually, I'll just blast out some. There's a whole bunch of tools we can do. I don't have to do all the crazy stuff. There's a whole bunch of different techniques, right? So let us see what we want to do here. I'm just going to pull up a hologram, a proxy that represents the whole group here. So anybody that wants to receive healing are going to be entangled with this proxy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some work on this proxy and just have some codes running, some different things running. So I've set this proxy up in front of me. It's here in front of me. Its back is faced away from me. And what I want to do is I'm going to pull in a frequency from Sirius. It's a masculine frequency. It's a hot pink frequency. And I'm going to pull down into my crown and into my heart space. And then I'm going to connect to Mother Earth's heart. And her heart, she's got a Merkaba. I'm going to connect to the top tetrahedron of that, which is a feminine frequency. It's platinum colored. I'm going to pull that up through the rocks and the minerals, up through my root, and then up into my heart space. So I have a masculine and a feminine flowing into my heart. And then I'm going to eject another frequency out from my heart, a magenta frequency, and then flowing into the back of the heart of this hologram, this proxy, this representation. I'm going to ask this to continue to flow. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a double of myself. And he's going to go place his hands on the front of the knees of that hologram. And out from his heart, he's going to release what I refer to as clearing pyramids. They're going to come out in sets of 2. They're going to shuttle out from his heart, down out the arms and into the knees. And they're going to bounce around the body, shuttle around the body, transmuting energy. He's going to leave his hands there. I am going to now take out a little thumb drive energetically with my intention. This intention is now going to be quantum entangled with another intention that I've set up priorly that connects to a bunch of different frequencies. So I'm placing this code that represents those other frequencies using my imagination, and I'm imagining plugging that into that hologram. So now, like a computer, it's taking on all these codes, all these frequencies that are automatically a part of this quantum entangled imaginary object that I've plugged in there. There's great frequencies. There's ones for like self-love, for perfect health, abundance, unity consciousness, energy, what else? Calmness, confidence, angel frequencies, diamond frequencies, dolphin frequencies, dragon frequencies, frequencies from Atlantis, the 13th stone of Atlantis. All sorts of good stuff are just flowing in where they need to go in alignment for the highest good. So you'll probably feel those coming in now if you're very sensitive. If not, you're still going to get them. So I'm already feeling a pretty big, significant shift already in the energies. And I'm going to have this continue to run. I'm going to put a timer on that. It's just going to run for the next 20 minutes. Actually, why not? We're just going to do it for the next hour. Anybody that comes through this room, this is entangled for them to receive if they are open to receiving as facilitated by their higher self. If their higher self says yes, then that's what they're going to experience. Or if their human says that's what I want to experience. So now I'm going to initiate a figure 8 through the whole system. This is going to accelerate the process as well as these energies moving through. I'll put a timer on that as well, a code that keeps it running. I'm putting a timer on that. I'm just going to drop some light codes in it. And then I'm going to take out a little golden sphere here. I'm going to place a code in it. And if you're open to receive a healing, you can command this to go to a certain area that you would like healing. Otherwise, it'll go where it needs to for the highest good of all. I'll place this in the heart, and it's going to go to work. I'm just going to continue running light from my heart into the back of the hologram, and with the other things that are going on, it's going to bring healing in. And that's just going to continue to run. So as we chill and as we answer questions and as we chat, healing can take place. We should be doing that anyway. But so thank you for asking to do something. So you've got some questions here. Oh, I forgot to pin your comment. Sorry, Tina. I can. Will I be doing an interpretive? What happened? It disappeared. Can I help root chakra blockage? Absolutely. Quick answer. Absolutely. How can we stay in the light during this time? That's a great question. I really appreciate this. Honestly, the best thing in my perspective that we can do at this time is whenever we're feeling those hard emotions, a lot of fear. If we're feeling angry, it's really easy to feel really angry right now with all that's going on. It's really easy to feel sad and fearful. And what I suggest is whenever you're feeling these emotions, whenever you're starting to get really frustrated or get caught up in all of it, a really, really simple technique to do, it's very practical, and there's a lot of reasons why this is really powerful, is to simply place your awareness in your heart space, in the center of your chest. That's all you need to do. Just put it in the center of your chest and feel your body. Once you play, or just feel your heartbeat. So that's all you need to do. And just feel the center of your chest. And if you're still thinking about those things, it'll start to wash away the power of those fears, whatever you're feeling. But what it also does is it entangles healing into whatever you're going through. So if you're upset about all the stuff that's going on in these countries, the whole world drama, by thinking about it and then moving your awareness into your heart and feeling that as deeply as possible, you are literally healing it. You're healing yourself and you're healing the situation. We are not separate from this drama. We are not separate from it. It is an outward projection of things that are happening within us that we're processing. And we need to do this at a collective level. All the stuff that's happening around us is something that we need to heal inside together. And this is the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to hold that awareness in our heart. It's a frequency thing. It's literally a practical tool. It's not just a hippy-dippy thing where, just be in your heart. It's literally a mind-heart coherence situation. It's quantum physics. It's metaphysics. It works. And if we all just do that, things can shift so fast. And to boost it, place your awareness in your heart and then feel your whole body at the same time while you have your awareness in your heart as deeply as possible. You'll feel amazingly different, I promise you. And just hold it there. And if you can do that all the time, this is not something I do all the time. I wish I did. These are things that I know that I need to be doing too. So that's why I bring them up, is because I know that if I need to be doing it, it can be helpful for other people. And I don't need to be doing anything, but it's something that I choose to be doing. So it should be, that's what I suggest. That's what I suggest. Because to not be victim to what's happening around us, to not be separate from what's happening around us. It's really easy for us to go, no, this is not my stuff. This is all these kids playing their games. This is not me. This is not my world. No, that's not what we came here for. We came here to change it, and to change things, we don't change the world. We change ourselves. That's just an illusion. It looks like we want to change the world. What we do and why we're here, each of us are here for a reason, because we have to become it to change it. Literally, practically, physically, physically. You have to actually, that is true magic. You become the spoon. You don't bend the spoon, you have to become the spoon and bend yourself. That is a very valuable lesson. That's why we all go down into this density. We get stuck in these really heavy bodies. We just decide to come here because we know that that's how power is made. That's how we change things, is by changing ourselves, becoming it and changing ourselves. And that's why we get stuck here too. But this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing here. That's what this whole thing is about, is us healing this together, not running away from it. What's the point? Look at it. Don't be afraid to look at it. I mean, not like don't watch like terrible stuff, but don't turn away from it. Don't turn your back at things that make you uncomfortable, and then feel that uncomfortable. Like you don't have to feel it wherever. If you can feel it in certain areas of your body, feel that as deeply as possible. But I suggest going to the heart first. Go straight into your heart, feel that as deeply as possible, and then feel those other sensations. If you feel it in your gut, you feel grossed out, you feel pissed off, whatever you feel, go into the heart first, then feel the rest of it. And boom. Watch, watch, watch your magic. Spirit fingers. It's a great question, though. I appreciate that big time. I answered this one. Countless. Countless. How many light languages are there? How do I read energy? I feel energy. So that's how I read energy. I can see it on people sometimes. I mean, often. Like, I'm seeing some energy right now, actually. I'm actually seeing quite a bit of energy right now. But that's not really how I assess things. I feel it. So if I need to get information, I feel it, because feeling does not lie. You know, like whatever we see or perceive, we're going to be painting it through our own filters. And it's going to be a costume that the energy wears. So I always just assess the energy. And sometimes that kind of gets confusing for me, because I'm like, I know what the energy is, but whatever the costume is doesn't make sense. So sometimes I get confused, but that's because it's not the way that it actually is. So my way of reading energy is through feeling. I feel to heal. Feeling is the key. I'm a feeler. I'm a knower feeler. So that's how I do it. So I ping things like with my feeling. How does it make me feel? Does that feel right? Is that vibration align with what my thoughts are? Is that thought accurate? You know, it's a truth detector. And then that way, that's how I get the information. Kind of like sonar, yeah. Feel to heal is absolutely my motto. Can upgrade help strengthen channeling with clarity? Absolutely, upgrades can definitely help that. That's the idea. So yeah, whatever an upgrade is, the idea of an upgrade is really just like boosting whatever you already have. So like if you were a video game character and you had a gun, you know, like I don't know, kids like they got these games where you got your gun, but then you can like upgrade it. You keep getting different parts and you add different attachments to it, and you get the cool paint on the side, and you get all these fancy tool, like all this other shiny stuff on it. It's like doing that with your own gifts, with your own abilities. I hope you remember those things. I hope enhance that for you. But that, so that whatever it is, we can work on that, make it stronger. How did my light language ability develop? It was more remembered, and that's an important thing to know about light language. It's like once you start experiencing it, there's like no denying it. It's more, you get kind of more confused by it. It's not something you get like conscious. I mean, you can consciously activate it, but it's like not I need to learn to put these words together to make this, or these sounds do this. It's more of it starts happening, and then you use your logical mind to start understanding it, but it still will never do a good enough job because it bypasses the logical mind and goes straight to the energy. That's just straight speaking energy. So we can start adding stories to it and start connecting things to what certain things mean, but in the end it's about the energy, and that's what makes light language. So it's a remembrance, it's an activation, a remembering, and you'll know it when you feel it. Can I tell us whose energy is whose? Usually, yeah. I mean, it depends. Like, if I don't know you well, then I won't be like, what's this energy? But if there's people that I know, I go, oh, I know that. Or I feel them. A lot of times it'll manifest as a thought of somebody too. So all of a sudden I'll get a thought of somebody in my head, and I'm like, well, that is random. There's no such thing as random. So sorry I just answered that. How do you know when your Kundalini is activated? There will be no doubt. It is like taking the Limitless drug. You know, in the movie The Limitless, it's like that. Like, it's like I always articulated it as feeling like superhuman. So like I would do it, and again I would do top down, but as soon as I connected it all the way down, it was just like I could see with my eyes closed. I was just like, whoa, like I just tune into things, and that was even not fully healed, but Yeah, you know what I mean. Not fully, you know what I mean. But you know when you know. It's like a full body orgasm, pretty much, with superpowers, or what you might identify as superpowers. It's like an orgasm. I mean, like you might not, you might orgasm. Like literally, it happens. Like especially with women, they will feel like they are constantly orgasming. With men, I mean, it happens. So it can even happen and cause you to, pew. But that didn't. Not that happened. I'm just saying I've heard. Does light language come from reincarnating as other beings? Yes, it can. So in some ways, yeah. So they're quantum spaces. Like reincarnation is kind of an illusion in some ways. It's like we are having all of our experiences now. And I know that this is not what you asked. I know it's just we're using words here. So I'm just using your question as an opportunity to articulate my perspective. But it's all happening at once. And sometimes we are aware of connections to these other realities, and sometimes we're not. So when light languages can come when we integrate those other realities. So we become aware for whatever reason, we integrate those aspects of ourselves. Because we can only hold so much consciousness at once in these bodies at one time. Until we're working on this. So we can bring more consciousness into these bodies, because consciousness is intense. It can explode. Not everybody's consciousness can fit in a human body or even in this universal structure, but we're working on these things. But as you make those conscious connections, whatever you start to integrate those other quantum realities that comes in, and those light languages can come from that. So yes. Long answers to short questions. Great question. Do I use physical protection, veils, stones, etc.? I do, because the tools are, they are just tools. So like physical objects are tools, just like we can do everything with our mind. Like if we use our mind strong enough, we can lift something, right? Like we can really get, but it's easier to use the tool that we have, which is an extension of our mind that we know as our hands, and we don't have to think about it. We pick it up and we're holding it. Now we're holding it. It's the same idea. So you can hold frequencies using different physical objects that have certain intentions. They're tools. So like and some tools are better for things than others. You can hammer a nail with a paintbrush if you want. It might not be that easy. It might take some work. And you can paint with a hammer. But it's just going to be a little different. So they're both tools that you can use for different things, but some tools are better for other things than others. So I use different physical tools for like around my house. I grid with shungite and silver, and I use crystals. I always keep silver shungite on me. So shungite as a mineral, as a stone, a black stone. It's very powerful. It's got these fullerenes in it that help attenuate negative frequencies, and it's very grounding as well. But you can use it as a tool. It neutralizes things, and then you can add frequencies to it that help anchor whatever that is in. And so I will use shungite, and I always have shungite and silver on me. The combination together, which creates a healing field and also helps remove attachment things, all sorts of stuff. But yes, I do. But for everything, I use it for. I use physical tools for everything. So not just for protection, but for whatever intentions I want to program into things. But I like those questions. Those are great questions. So I'm going to see real quick. I'm going to do something else to our hologram that we have up in this group here. So now these things are still running, but we're going to do another little healing thing. So I'm going to take out a little electric blue cylinder. I'm going to place a code in it. I'm going to place this between the root and the sacral of our hologram. And then this is going to initiate a healing from my Lyran friends. So they will assist you with whatever healing that you need to do at this time. You can command them to work on a certain area, a certain thing that you would like to focus on. Otherwise, they will work on whatever is needed in alignment for the highest good in this now. So since we are still on the topic, I'm just going to answer these ones. What do you feel about obsidian for protection? It's great. It's a great stone for protection. It's a very powerful stone. I think that obsidian is an underutilized stone for some reason. I don't know why, but I feel like we don't give it enough credit. So it's a great question. It's different. It's not going to be at all like shungite. It's a completely different frequency, a completely different use. But again, it can be used for. So I'm not. These are not things now that I'm aware of. So I'm channeling some of this stuff. There's something about it. The way that it cuts through, the way that it interacts as the idea of protection is different than shungite. Totally different. I'm not sure if the other sensitives in here pick up on that, but it has some like. I don't know what that feeling is. It's just different. I don't. But yeah, black onyx would be really similar to it. But there's something about obsidian. Not really sure what that is. But yeah, it was a favorite of mine when I was a kid too. I have a funny story. I got into trouble when I was a kid. It was the first time I really got into trouble. Like got into trouble. I remember this to this day. I forget everything. But I remember this because of the way how crappy I felt about it because I got in trouble. And there's a bunch of reasons. But so my neighbor, I lived in Klamath Falls, Oregon. So like down in southern Oregon, and there's lots of volcanic activity around there, like lots of volcanic minerals. And so there's a lot of people have different volcanic stones. And my neighbor had huge obsidian stones all around the outside of their house. And so I took one. I was like in first or second grade, and I took one because I knew that you could make arrowheads out of them. Like I was like, I'm gonna totally make some arrowheads. So I took it and I just started breaking it. I went in the backyard, I started breaking it. I was making all this stuff out of it. It was a bad idea because it's sharp, of course. And my dog got all cut up because he started walking on it. He's whatever. And then I got in trouble because they found that I had taken their obsidian, so I had to apologize, and that was like the first time I like got in trouble. I felt so bad because I was like, oh, I didn't even think about it as a rock, like I was like, oh yeah, I felt like crap. I felt really bad about it, but I still remember that story. No, you didn't miss anything super fun. I mean, matter of perspective. I'm glad that you're here. But I missed one about, where did I see that? Yes, I think somebody asked about moldavite. I love moldavite. Moldavite's a very powerful stone. It's very powerful. Hi, Carissa. Oh yeah, that's funny. I'm glad that I got to see your comment. I don't often get to look at the comments, but I'm glad I looked down. Yeah, no, it's okay. I think I've honestly I forgot even. So don't worry. I was just busy. So hopefully it would have aligned even if you did. But who knows? I was kind of in and out of sessions, so. It would have been cool to see you though. But yeah, if anybody ever wants to they're in Washington State at all and want to say hi, give me a shout and we will go meet up at Mystical Wares, which is in Mount Vernon, Washington. It's an amazing store. They sell a lot of these things that we're talking about. A lot of these minerals. They're amazing mineral, like for rocks and stones and crystals. Amazing store. But they got the biggest selection of shungite in the country. And probably the best selection in the world outside of like Karelia, Russia, maybe. They got the hookups. But amazing energy in that place. Like everybody that is sensitive can feel it move through. And like as soon as you go through the barrier, it's intense. It's beautiful, beautiful energy. How much money should you bring? I don't know, man. I don't know. I gotta be careful because I could spend money all the time. Like I went through a phase where I bought all sorts of tools and crystals, and then I stopped. I was like, okay, I got enough stuff, and now I don't know. I just kind of stopped this shit because I can get carried away on it. I just don't even pay attention. It's exciting, I'm too busy. I feel like. Yeah, you saw that, Tina? Yeah, there's a huge singing bowl that you can stand in now. They got 2 water fountains now, I think, that are full of shungite, and they feel so good being by them. Yeah, I want to try that. So that singing bowl, I think that's, I heard a little bit of the story. Apparently that's a very special singing bowl that they made in Tibet with the monks, and as they were praying, as they were banging it together, so there's a bunch of them, and they literally were forming this together. It's funny, literally, as I was saying that, my body, the way that my guides make me move, that's like my higher selves will move me in certain ways that's how they communicate with me. So my body moved up and looked upwards at a book that I have on the shelf. When I said Tibetan, whatever, there's a Tibetan monk on the front of my book that's about hacking for astral projection. Never look up at that at all, but like went straight, like magnetized right to it when I said that. So that's just confirmation that what I had heard is accurate to what I'm thinking of. So they do this together where they like hold these prayer beads and like they go through the process of all working on it together. They bang it together and form this in this really ritual, like really like conscious, powerful spiritual practice to make it so it's a really badass tool. Badass thing. I just got pinged super loud. Might be saying hi. They're like, yeah, give it the pitch. Oh, hi, Jamara. Oh man, that's a long name. It's Terry. Let's just go with that. Awesome to have you here. Yeah, if you come to Washington, I will definitely go rock hounding. Absolutely. Same with you, Chastity. We will go look at rocks. there's like some quarries, and I need to do more rock hounding. But there's beaches out here. Go on the beach, and there's I go rock hounding everywhere. I find like, what do they call them? Like agates and stuff like in my parking lot at work. There's gravel everywhere, but all of a sudden I'm like, I gotta look down, and I look, and there's like an agate, like perfect, like I find like all these special stones in like random spots because it's not me. I'm just like, phew. They're like, hey, look, where I'll go out and drop off codes in certain places. I'll just go out and feel like need to go into nature, and then I'll feel like, okay, crap, we're gonna clear this and do this and blah blah blah. And then as soon as I'm done, I'll go look around, and then there'll be like a stone or like something cool, like a really fancy shell or like, something special that just stands out. And I'm like, okay, I was supposed to do that. Yeah. It's an amazing story, Tina. I'll get you your first rock. How about that? On me for all you do and for coming out here. So you don't have to, you can get a free stone. It's on me, complimentary stone for coming out and hanging out. Guarnamasiara. I do like codes in nature, absolutely. Oh, good question, Lonnie. It is called hacking the out-of-body experience. It's actually a friend of mine wrote it. It's great. It's like a compilation of like really practical astral projection tips and techniques. His name is Robert. Patterson, not Patterson. I knew I was gonna get him mixed up. I can put on my glasses, of course. Bob, we call him Bob. Bob. I don't know. Please don't fall over. Don't fall over. Don't fall over. Robert Peterson. I was gonna say Patterson, so I was really close. Robert Peterson. Hacking the out-of-body experience. I know it's backwards. But it's a great book. It's really practical, like really straightforward tips and techniques. I had to learn. Don't fall over. I had to learn my own ways to astral project because most of the people's techniques use visualizations. Oh, you got that book? Awesome. Hey, thank you, Marie Claire. Yeah, yep, that's it. Is it okay to astral travel right now? It's always okay. Yeah, I mean, that's just it's always happening. It's just becoming conscious of it. Astral projection is just consciously doing it in that moment. Well, thank you. I feel that. Thank you. I don't know if that's Amber who's doing that. I appreciate that. It's up to you. I always use protection. You should always be prepared. As far as what you do, it's that's totally up to you. As far as shoulds or shouldn'ts, that's not really my thing. So I'm always going to disagree with what other people say if they say they shouldn't. Almost always. Do the fighting. Everything happens in energy first, and then it trickles into the physical. So there's always stuff going on. That's kind of the way that people refer to the astral can be varied. So when it comes to astral projection, it's like the conscious awareness of you traveling through different spaces. So you can actually change vibration when you're astral projection. It's not like you're just in one vibration. Like I go to the lower astrals and it's like a lot different than if I go way higher. So you can go higher in vibration, you don't have anything to worry about. It all has to do with your vibration, like what you're tuning into and tapping into. And so for some people, that's what they're going to experience if they're in that vibration. That's why it should be, I don't want to say even should. It's something that I recommend you look into and be prepared for if you're going to do consciously. And but if you're ready for things, you're going to be ready for things. If you're not, you're not. Like I did a lot of astral projection when I was practicing it a lot for a while, and I would go too far and I black out. So I would black out consciously. So I would consciously leave my body and then go start traveling, and then I would lose consciousness, and then I would still be there but my 3D form would kind of like mess things up because it would start to slip and it would start to turn more into a dream state. You make sure that my heater doesn't turn on because, yep, you will not be able to hear me. So then it would start to, like, my subconscious would start to take over. And once my subconscious starts to take over, then things can get a little bit weird. But I don't know, like, if I experience things like other people do, but I got kind of put in time out from my higher self because I was doing that. And I was bringing, like, every time I would come back, I'd wake up the next day, my house would be pretty much haunted. Like stuff would be knocking over, there'd be all sorts of beings and like aliens showing up, and like my partner at the time was like, we're over this, blah blah blah. And so we ended up getting a cat and all sorts of stuff. But I got put in timeout for that. Anytime now I try to astral project, I just black out. So they're like, nope, no more. Oh, it's so tempting to accept this person to go live, but they want to do one of those live matches. Is that where people, hey, please give us gifts, we'll compete for gifts. You guys give me a bunch of gifts for no reason other than just to help me win? And I think it's funny. Yeah, Malik. Shout out to Malik. How do you feel about interpretive dance? Great question, Tina. Interpretive dance is channeling, in my perspective. I mean, I'm no expert in it by any means, but interpretive dance is a form of light language in my perspective. And the more that we use intentions with it, like whatever we're expressing, I guess it depends. Wait, is interpretive dance that, like, I guess I don't know the technical term for it, so I could be totally messing it up. It might be something that I'm not totally familiar with, but if it's just expressing movement that feels right, then I say I love it. It's like light language. But if can I demonstrate? I already saw that before. No, I'm not gonna be doing that tonight. Well, it is your birthday. I don't think the camera will pick it up. It'll be too extreme. I don't know if it's gonna be okay with the filter, like if TikTok is gonna be okay with it, because I'm kind of not very PG in my interpretiveness. Oh god, it's not something that we want to say. I don't have you're gonna have to have a lot of something to do that. I'm just gonna go through some questions to see what is best to answer here. Are we all coming from the future? Is that true? That's a great question. Since from my perspective, the idea of time kind of all exists at once, so it's kind of a perspective thing. So it has to do, similar to the idea of being a starseed, since we're all kind of everything. This is these paradoxes that existence is. We are everything at once already. So how are we not something else when we are all one at the same time? You know what I mean? Like, how am I not you and you are not me? Well, we are, but we're just coming from completely different perspectives. So we're not at all, even though we are, but we're not. It's kind of the same idea. It comes down to what perspective you're looking from. Did you come here to look from a certain perspective in order to do something from this perspective? I know that's confusing. But some of us are literally bringing things back from that perspective to this now, so we would be from the future. But that's not the way that I truly perceive it. I think it's just how much of our consciousness are we accessing in this now moment is really what it comes down to. So yes, and in some ways yes, but not until you make that connection. So yes and no. You're not gonna let the dancing thing go now. Back and inside is out and outside is in. That's right. I do red. I get red easy. I don't. It's not even like a shot. Like it's like watch. Like I just get red. Like that's just part of what I do. It's just who I am. I always have like in my hands. I get red super easy. But I do blush really easy though too. So it's both. Like I got an award at work the other day. I was like, okay, I'm gonna quit, and then of course they give me like an award. And then I was like so embarrassed. I thought I was like in trouble. And then they give me this stuff. I was like, ah, crap, it got me. But I got so red. I guess we're supposed to release some stuff. Oh, I know, I'm totally going to, but I just thought it was funny because I'm like, oh, I know it's going to happen soon. And then, of course, that's just the way that the universe does things. They're like, are you sure you're going to? Like, it's like a test, you know, like, you've been stuck in this loop a while. Would you stay for this? It's like, oh, nice try. Not that it's anything, you know, free dinner for two at our own restaurants isn't really. But I love them. So if you're listening and you know that I'm doing this, I'm sorry. Let's do something fun. So it is Tina, Cosmic Earth Child's birthday today. It's her birthday. Happy birthday. I should have made a background for her. Happy birthday. So what I think we're going to do, if she is open to receiving, is we are all going to blast her from our hearts only into her hearts. So don't do anything else if she's only if she's open to it for alignment for her highest good only. It's going to go through me. So it'll come through me first into her heart, and just to make sure that we filter it right. If you're okay with that, Tina, how would you feel that? How do you feel? You let me know if you're okay with that. If you're okay with some love, see how it feels. Only love to love, not trying to fix anything, nothing else. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know you're smart, so we're making sure that we do it right. So if you're open to receive, or open to help give a little birthday love to Tina, what I want you to do is just open your heart. Imagine your heart as big and as bright as possible. So just imagine it's a big old bright light, and then just see Tina's heart. Just imagine Tina's heart. So you're just going to see Tina in your awareness, in your heart, and your only intention is to just give love only for the highest good only. And I'm just going to boost that as well. So we're just gonna blast her for a second here, and I'm just going to take all of your loving, and I can already feel it, all your loving frequencies and your open hearts, and we're just gonna channel that, and I'm gonna feed off that and just get it right into our heart space. Kurtas. Karnina natar toista nantikiro toro kitu toro tada tarashita kiro to smart perke perke sakai shumpur to putiatra sintikista matu tio tonio. Naka, lekanana, kiara nana. Ooh wee, kia. Oh. That was fun. That was fun. Holy cow. That was a lot more intense than I thought it was going to be. Oof. Oh, a little dizzy. Hold on. Drink some water if you got it. Oof. Processing a lot here still. We love you, Tina. We love you. Thank you for all you do. You are so loved and appreciated. Truly, truly, truly. And not just even in the physical. And you know that. So that had a lot of really excited beings that were all wanting to use me at the same time to gateway through. And yeah, that was a little intense, which is great. It was good. I loved it. I'm a little high from that, to be honest. I feel high. I really, like, now I feel baked. With Chi-Chi. I literally feel stoned. Like I feel, my eyes are getting pink. I don't know, I feel, oof. That might have burnt me out. Oh, Kuaranaya. That was beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. We'll answer some more questions and see how long I got here. I think I'm be doing good here. But we're at how can you tell if your DNA has been upgraded? That's a great question. So it kind of depends. There's quite a few different perspectives on that, so it depends on what we're talking about as far as upgraded. A lot of times we're talking about activation, but it's more complicated than we really even talk about, really. the way that our DNA functions and all that's involved. But essentially, our DNA is like code, and it's kind of like very dynamic, but at the same time, it's not. So the currency of the universe, of the, of this universe, at least in these galaxies, is DNA. That's how a lot of these ET races exchange things, is DNA. And planet Earth is like the ultimate DNA, like mix-up. Essentially, it's got so much value as far as DNA goes. It's such a mix-up of different things, and it's like a library. It's like a there's so many different libraries here. Like planets kind of store information. They're kind of like data hubs a lot of times in like libraries, and Earth is like a full library, so many different libraries. That's why it's like in the center of all sorts of stuff. So it kind of depends. But we generally, I know this is a complicated, I'm going about this in a roundabout way, but it's for a reason, because we are always upgrading our DNA. As we heal, we're upgrading our DNA, and it comes down to semantics. But if you mean it in the way that like you get your activation, it's going to come through feelings and like what you experience in your reality, like stark shifts in your reality. You can tell that, like, from DNA activations can happen. Like gifts can get activated, things like that. It's like, it's code. So the code, DNA is coding. So when you get your coding activated, it's upgraded, essentially, is what I think we're going with here. Whew, sorry if did that make sense? I'm still a little woozy. I definitely will. Before we get off, Tina, I saw that, so we will definitely do that. That'll be the sign off. I'll do some coding to it. Can I set sorrow free? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can do it though too yourself. Sorrow is a lot of times held in grief, and it's held in this area. So processing, feeling it as deeply as possible without trying to push it away. A lot of times we feel these emotions, obviously, we feel grief, we feel sorrow, but we're feeling them with the awareness that we don't want them. Like, I don't want this is not what I want, I'm upset about this. But if you decide to choose to feel it and feel what it feels like in your body, like truly feel it in your body, because it's your body is where it's entangled. It's where these frequencies are stored, and that's why we feel them in our body. So feeling it as deeply as possible, really truly as deeply as possible. And if you can feel it with love, that's even better. But even just fully accepting it is unconditional love. That's what people don't recognize, is that unconditional love is full acceptance. So if you can fully truly accept what's happening in your body and what's happening in your reality, it heals it. It's a paradox, but it's the way that it works. And then you can just, from that 0 point state, from that balanced state, you can choose what you prefer. So allowing yourself to feel it as deeply as possible, with the intention to feel it as deeply as possible. It's so simple, it almost doesn't make sense, but it's that simple. So other people can help you with those things too, but like the key is to empower yourself with this knowledge, so you can do it yourself. So you don't need TikTok weirdos like me doing it. I'm just kidding. I have fun doing this. I love it. This is what I'm supposed to do. So, can I close a wounded heart from past relationships? I don't close hearts. No. I know what you mean though, and that's why I appreciate the question, because it gives me the opportunity to answer it. Can I close a wounded heart? We can heal a wounded heart, of course. A lot of times, what happens is when we're wounded from these relationships and stuff, we put up barriers. Our heart's perfect. Our heart might have stuff or blah missing or whatever. These are just perceptions. These are stories, the costumes that we paint the experiences with, and then we label it as certain things. But our hearts are always perfect. They're pure. That's the key for us to heal it all. So what happens a lot of times is we'll put barriers up so we don't access our heart. So the key to a wounded heart and to heal that is to access your heart, to start to love yourself, to really feel your heart as deeply as possible. Empower yourself, take the walls down. If you try to take off the armor that we don't need anymore, because that's what happens. I mean, I feel you. I've been there so much. Like, heartbreak is brutal. I've had to do a lot of my traumas most of my traumas that I've had to go through healing happened through like teenage years to adulthood. I had a pretty decent, a relatively good childhood as far as as traumas go, but I experienced them later on. And once trauma is trauma. It doesn't, the body reacts to it the same no matter what it is. Like it stores certain things, and I had to deal with a lot of heartbreak. Like that's the way that I was being shown things about myself, is through these relationships that I had with the divine, well, the feminine at the time, and showing me where I really needed to work on things. So I've had to do a lot of healing in that way. So that's what my suggestion would be. Oh, I understand, brother. I can't see the picture, but I'm using this as an opportunity to articulate this. So, but if you're asking if I can do it, like personally, of course, we can help you with what you're intending, of course. But I was using this question as an opportunity to explain my point of view on a bigger picture thing. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. And everything's for a reason too. So you didn't mean to. It's not the right word. It was the right word because it gave us the opportunity to discuss it and help more people too, rather than just be, yeah, I can do that for you. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll answer this just because, yeah, a little plug. Yeah, absolutely. They do help with body pains. I came into doing this work because I know pain. That is my awakening story, is physical pain. I've been through so much pain, physical. This is something I experience all the time. It's been a huge lesson for me. I always have pain. I'm always in pain. It used to disable me. I've learned to manage it, and that's why I built all these different tools. I've equipped myself with all these tools to manage pain, but it's it makes me stronger and stronger, and I learn more and more and more. But that is what inspired me to do what I do, is helping people understand pain and what the purpose of pain is and how to heal that. And definitely I know how big of a barrier physical pain can be. How everything else in the world can just, be at a standstill. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Oh, thank you, brother. Because pain, man, it's like, it can be overwhelming. So I get that. And if you're in super bad pain, like nothing, there's not much else you can do. Oh, thank you, Tina. I love that one. But so a lot of my tools, a lot of my specialties are helping with pain stuff. But pain is a message. It is something that is communicating to us. So decoding where that pain comes from is really helpful as well. But yes, we can definitely do that, because pain is, I feel you. How can you stop your empathy? Why would you want to stop your empathy? I think this might be a semantic thing. If you mean like you being an empath, is kind of what I'm picking up on what you mean. But we don't want to. We want to be able to choose to see from another person's perspective, whatever that is, and if that perspective is to feel pain like they do, that should be a choice. Some people are more easily able to tune into other people's energies and things around them, and we might be labeled as an empath, which is being really highly sensitive to energies in our surroundings, including those from other people, specifically emotions and physical situations in other people. But we shouldn't be a victim to it. We're never victims to what we experience. We should be empowered by it. So I would never suggest to just get rid of it. You can't. It's who you are. It's part of what you are. You can always suppress it, but that's just not going to make you happy in the long run. So the idea is to master your own energy, to own your own energy, and start to identify what is yours and what is not yours, and set up clear boundaries for when you want to tune into other energies and when you don't want to. And then that way you can choose, because it should always be a choice. We should always have the ability to feel empathy, but I know what it's like to be an empath and experience pain, experience other things around me. And again, like on the pain topic, I experience things around me as pain. When I first started to go and do energy work, when angels came in, I experienced excruciating pain. When all these like divine beings or any kind of energies, it was like torture to me. Like I didn't understand it at the time, but it was because I was so sensitive and not yet healed enough that it was creating this tension, like it was creating issues because I wasn't quite there in alignment yet. So it was really confusing to me, but it's just about figuring it out. You'll get there. Don't give it up. Don't give it up. But keep seeing us, others like us, because we'll help you remember you're part of it. You are us, you know. How do you begin to heal from a lifetime of pain? With a choice, with a decision. I would say for me, it starts with deciding you don't want to run from it. When you get the bravery to realize that I want to feel it. It's the secret of pain. That is the thing, is pain is like the way that my higher self says it, is that pain is power in potential. That's why I go through all that I do, experience what I do, is because my higher self knows that in this reality, that is gold. That is the most valuable thing in this reality, this dense planet, and this specific reality, the dense reality and earth that we live in. It's like a school for gathering experience points using pain and discomfort and limitation and these types of things. So empowering yourself with that awareness and realizing that you're excavating pain and turning it into power, all of a sudden it loses all of that power to you're not a victim to it. You realize that this is like experience points that you're collecting, and now you're becoming more, and it literally turns into power. It literally becomes power when you start to see it from that perspective. So for me, it's leaning into it. Feel it with deep acceptance. Again, like we mentioned earlier, it's about accepting it, not feeling it to push it away. It's a very important difference. You're not feeling it to get rid of it. You're feeling it to feel it authentically, accepting it. And you want to listen to it as deeply as possible. Feeling is listening. Listening is feeling. You want to listen to what is already there as deeply as possible while accepting it as deeply as possible. So that includes trying to not tense up to not feel it. So my body wants to tense up when I feel things because it's trying to protect, or because there's so much energy that runs through different areas. So relaxing enough is huge, so you can feel it. And there's pain. So it could be mental. Pain is pain. And that's what it's kind of tricky. So pain can be experienced physically, it can be experienced emotionally. So if you're experiencing it mentally, it's a very similar process. It's about facing what has created that mental anguish, because pain is an emotion, and an emotion is an energy. So that's why we're talking about it from a very practical perspective. And of course, where that source comes from is going to be different for people. So facing what triggered that pain, what is creating that emotional signal that is saying, hey, look at me, look here, feel me, listen to me, that is a great place to start, because you're going to start to learn things, you're going to listen. The pain is screaming at us. Whether it's emotional pain, it's screaming at us. It's saying, listen, 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 listen. So listening to it and being able to express it, however that comes out, because it's going to be so different for everybody. See you, Serene. Got to see it. Bye. Thanks for hanging out. And hanging out, in different places like this, or watching videos like this, you'll pick up on these things, and it'll happen very naturally. But the best thing we can do is just start to listen. It's that simple. There's so much that energy healing is doing, like pushing, like putting energy into the light. Light language is like putting things in and whatever. But I think the most powerful way to heal is to listen, and it's that simple. That's a feminine way. That's how I started healing everything in myself and got me to where I was. If I didn't do it that way, I would never got to whatever point that I'm at. Not that that's like some special point. That's not what I'm getting at. But I was really at a really low place, like so bad. I need to do my like little video, my story and whatever. I know Spirit's just pushing me, but so you can see, I was bad. Like, it was bad. Like, really, really bad. So I know what it's like. And it starts with feeling. And yeah, I guess that's where I was going with that. I think I'm just repeating at this point. Drink lots of water. Good call. Thank you. I appreciate everybody hanging out. I'll probably start wrapping up the idea things. We'll do something fun right before we get off here. I'll probably answer another couple questions. But yeah, so if you're interested in that last little bit of energy, I'd stick around just for a little bit. Hey, what's up, Daniel? I appreciate everybody hanging out as well. I love this. It makes me so happy to have so many people hang out and talk my passions, and I'm glad to see other people are passionate about the same ideas, but it makes me so happy. I recognize your energy. You get a different username? Maybe it's just been a long time. Yeah, the kitty sneezes all the time. He needs to get his sinuses cleared out again. I'm cat sitting, and Bunny's sitting. So he's Shadow. He's doing good. We need to do a little bit more work on his liver and stuff too. He's a silly kitty. Bumblebee, I will do. I say this every time. I'm a little bit behind on posting past lives on YouTube. I'll do that this weekend. This weekend I get time to work on my own stuff. It's been the first time in a long time. So I got a lot to do, so hopefully I can get through it all. But I will post this live in like the last 2 or 3 lives, 2 or 3 that we did on YouTube. So you can go back and you can play through them. And again, we're going to be answering a lot of the same questions. I wish it had all the comments and stuff, but yeah, whatever. I guess I can always like record my screen or whatever. I should do that because it just feels like that's part of it. Like it just is so lame when it's just me talking. Ugh, it's so cringy. But it's with everybody here. We'll do some work. Just being in here, brother, you'll get it. So we have a group hologram that's being worked on right now. But I felt that as soon as you said that. Ouch. Ali. Well, you know what I mean, Tina. It's a group thing. It's a group energy here. You know what I mean? Come on, you know what I mean. I'm not being man. I'm gross. Ew. Not like that. It's just like it's about everybody, because that's what's fun. So the conversations. Let me just answer one big we'll find one good question to answer, and then we'll do something fun for Tina before we get off. So stick around. You don't want to miss it. You don't miss it, because it's gonna be. I'm gonna go all out. What do I feel from Moldavite? Moldavite's very powerful. Can you activate our Kundalini? Yes. How would you use shungite powder? All over. I use it in so many different ways. You can put a little bit in your food if you need, a tiny bit. You can put it in everything. I put it in everything. The powder is amazing. It goes so far. The little, it doesn't, with shungite, it doesn't matter how much. It can make a difference, but the fullerenes, the little geometric shapes in the powder are so powerful, and having the powder is like a whole bunch of them, so it doesn't take very much powder to do a lot. Do you say lucid or astral projection in sleep like me? I just sleep. Well, the last 2 weeks I haven't slept at all. I've been out of my body, working in all sorts of dimensions and whatever. Gosh, but I think I actually slept last night. I don't remember. Can't remember. Best music frequency for activations and upgrades? I don't know. I honestly don't know that. I think it depends. And it's activations and upgrades are going to be specific. They're going to be complicated frequencies. So they're going to be built on tons of frequencies. So that's what makes them so powerful. It's like an application instead of having like one little thing, like a whole program. Can you explain feet vibrating with alternating heat? It's likely you are releasing energies or grounding things. It could be different. Everybody's a little different. It could be a signal for you from your guides. It could be a way that you interface with certain energies. It could be one of your gifts. It could be all sorts of things. So my advice would be to experiment, ask questions to yourself, ask these and see what comes back into yourself. And if you don't get an immediate answer by asking yourself, you can use other tools like pendulums, stuff like that. Use what you got. You'll eventually, it's what you're inspired to do is your higher self guiding you in certain directions, so you learn new tools and new tricks to help you remember more of who you are. So follow the process. It's not about getting to the end thing. Follow what feels right, because it's going to lead you in the big picture to more of who you are. It's not about getting to the end. It's about figuring out who you are through the process to help you at the end know who you are. That's beautiful. Choo choo. I haven't seen that one. Yeah, with the frequency music, you'll know by the way that it feels for sure. Yeah, feel it. Feeling is the key. Feel to heal. Follow the feels, and feel to heal are my go-tos. Those are my mottos. Feel to heal, follow the feels. I'm not familiar with crystal koya. Crystal koya. Whoa. I think that must be means that we're supposed to do the energy. That was a big bonk. Okay, so I'm going to put on some tunes. I'm going to put on some music. So if you guys are ready to have a little party. And again, it is Tina, Cosmic Earth Child's birthday today. And if you do not follow Tina, Cosmic Earth Child, I highly recommend that you follow her. And a big shout out to all my other moderators and my buddies and friends that are here. I'm not sure who's still here, but like Chastity, I appreciate you. Michael, of course, Amber. If you don't follow her, please follow her, because she's amazing. She's got a lot to give. She's going to make more. She is. So they're amazing human beings, and just like there's so much I wish I could. There's just feel it. How about that? Feel it, because they're incredible, and I highly recommend seeing them. So go follow them. We're gonna play on this music. So Billy Idol, the same one. This just. Wow, what was it? Okay, yeah, I got it. I'm going to do this a certain way. Yeah. Okay. Cortarsa. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're open to receive, just open your heart, feel your body. Activations, upgrades, place your intention, what you want to receive. So if you want to receive healing, place your awareness on that. Dance.
I gotta speak a little bit because I guess it messes with the algorithm so we don't get cut off, I guess, is what I'm getting. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! That's a great way to end. I love you so much. Thank you so much. Happy birthday, Tina. If you guys are interested, I'll do a little quick pitch before we get off. If you need to send me a message, if there's anything you want to talk about, you have any questions, you can go to my profile. Do a little quick pitch before we get off. If you need to send me a message, if there's anything you want to talk about, you have any questions, you can go to my profile. There's a link in there. You can send me messages through that. If you're interested in one-on-one sessions, I focus on healing. My specialty is activations and upgrades, essentially getting you to be your highest self as quickly as possible, and whatever that looks like for you. And a lot of times that's healing. But then these things, we just help you be you, whatever that is. We offer custom transmissions. So if you're into this, like what's on my profile, we can do that for you to whatever intention you want. You have it forever. You can play it back. It'll still have the same effects, or it can go deeper and deeper into your intentions, depending on what your intention is, of course. But yeah, just let me know. Hit me up. And if you had an awesome experience tonight, if this is like you're new to you, or if you just want to share your experiences, there's also a way to submit a testimonial through that link as well, which it can be really, really helpful. So I'm working on getting my stuff up this weekend, my website finally back up. And that will be really, really helpful for other people. Testimonials are really, really helpful. Or if you want to do video testimonials, it's huge helpful. Not even just to me, like it means the world to me, but it means so much to other people too. Like I don't think we realize how much that can help people who are just peeking in at these things to hear authentic experiences, because it just really does help. But I love you guys so much. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me for so long. And like you do every Friday night, if you like this stuff, this is what we call Friday Night Lights. Free healings, integration, energy work, activations, talk about healing, and all this good stuff. And I love you guys so much. I'm so deeply appreciative that you hung out. Happy birthday, Tina! Kura rashtinda kiara tapia supuartat. Nishta ukina, yaktania, tueriashia, sipa aratasi, niki, kuakanaka, lektitush, lepromana, kipurepu asti chatatahista, kina nanana, hiro nanana, hiro parayana, kina ne anana, kuarani nini, hokoyanana. Thank you. Karativa sakira tapuya rapokoyara na isati chikativara. Koreyara kira sanani atarati prastati arakisa. Chukara yara tasyaka. I love you. Bye.